मिस दोनों लेक्चर आपके हैं?
जी
दोनों लेक्चर आपके हैं? तो 2 लेक्चर हैं ना?
नहीं तो फिर हम लिखेंगे
उसने फॉर्मूला नहीं दिया,
कैसे करें।
तो शटल के लिए आप फॉर्मूला नहीं हुआ।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम बच्चों। बच्चे रेस कर रहे हैं, हैंड्स पूछने कोई बच्चे रेस कर रहे हैं। नहीं बस ठीक है। Assalamu alaikum students. Yesterday we started tissue nematodes and we discussed Wuchereria macrophy in detail, and you responded very well yesterday. I hope you responded in the same way today, inshallah ta'ala. Today we will start Onchocerca. Onchocerca volvulus cause onchocerciasis. Yesterday we discussed Wuchereria bancrofti and today we are going to discuss Onchocerca. What are the important properties? Humans are infected when the female black fly, the name is Simulium, deposits infective larva while biting. The larva enters the wound and migrate into the subcutaneous tissue, where they differentiate into adults, usually within dermal nodules. So, first of all, the female black fly will deposit the infective larva while biting into the skin, and then the infective larva, will enter the wound and migrate into the subcutaneous tissue. अब wound से बेटा कहाँ पे जाएगा larva? Subcutaneous tissue में, where they differentiate into the adults. So they differentiate into adults in the subcutaneous tissue, usually within the dermal nodules. The female produces microfilary. As I told you, microfilary are tiny larvae, but they are non-infective. They are ingested when another black fly bites. So, first of all, the black fly enters the infective larva into the skin, and the infective larva go from the skin into the subcutaneous tissues and differentiate into adults. And these adults then produces the microfilary that are ingested by another black fly when the another black fly bites the human, and the cycle completes. The microfilary develops into the infective larva in the fly to complete the cycle. Humans are the only definitive host. In Wuchereria bancrofti, humans are the only infective host, and in Onchocerca volvulus, the humans are the only infective host. So, if you see this life cycle of parasites are very important. You have to focus on the life cycles of the parasites. Life cycle of parasites are very important. Black fly, the genus Simulium, takes the blood meals and they enters the infective larva into the skin through the bite wound. Then from the skin, they will go into the subcutaneous tissues, and adults, they will differentiate into adults in the subcutaneous tissue, mostly in the dermal nodules. Adults produces unsheathed microfilary that typically are found in the skin and in the lymphatics of the connective tissue, but also occasionally in the peripheral blood, urine, and in the sputum. Black fly again takes a meal, and from the skin, and when it takes the blood meal, it actually ingests the microfilary, which are uh, tiny larvae, but they are non-infective. And now the cycle will start in the black fly. Microfilary penetrate the black fly midgut and migrate to the thoracic muscles, and from the thoracic muscles to the pharynx of the black fly. And when now the infective larvae are present in the pharynx of the black fly, and when the black fly will bite again, they will actually ingest the infective larva into the human skin. Now, the pathogenesis and the clinical findings. Inflammation occurs in the subcutaneous tissue, and pruritic papules and nodules form in response to adult warm proteins. आपको बेटा बहुत अच्छे से पता है सारे differentiating points between the papules and nodules. हम बहुत अच्छे से बार बार कर चुके हैं in parasite in bacteriology. So inflammation mostly occurs in the subcutaneous tissue where the larva goes and where from the infective larva will differentiate into adults. So the inflammation will mostly occur in the subcutaneous tissue, and pruritic papules and nodules form in response to the adult warm proteins. So in response to the when the infective larva will convert themselves into the adult form, there will be pruritic papules and nodules in response to the adult worm proteins. The proteins which are present in the adult worms, and the body in response to the adult worm proteins will develop papules and nodules on the skin. Microfilari migrate through subcutaneous tissue, ultimately concentrating in the eye. As I told you, from the subcutaneous tissue, they will go into the blood, and from the blood, when the black fly again bites, black fly takes the beat. So microfilari migrate to the subcutaneous tissue, ultimately concentrating in the eye. There they cause lesions that can lead to blindness. So they will go to the eyes and they will cause lesions that can lead to blindness. Yes, Rabia, what's your question? You can ask your question in the chat box. Don't raise hand. Loss of the subcutaneous elastic fibers leading to wrinkled skin. Because they are present in infective larvae and both the adult worms are present in the subcutaneous tissue, there will be loss of subcutaneous elastic fibers leading to wrinkled skin. Elasticity जब नहीं होती बेटा skin में तो obviously wrinkles develop होते हैं, ठीक है? So loss of the subcutaneous elastic fibers led to the wrinkled skin, which is called hanging groin, which when it occurs in the inguinal region. When the loss of elastic fibers occurs in the on the skin in the inguinal area, then जो उसके पूरा appearance है wrinkle skin का उसकी वजह से हम उसे कहते हैं hanging groin. Because subcutaneous tissue में जब बेटा elastic fibers खत्म हो जाएंगे तो वहां पे क्या हो जाएगा, skin wrinkles बन जाएंगे, ठीक है? जब wrinkles बन जाएंगे inguinal area में तो वो appearance कैसी आएगी, hanging groin. Thickening, scaling and dryness of the skin accompanied by severe itching are the manifestations of a dermatitis, often called lizard skin. Because of the loss of elasticity, because of the response of the adult worm proteins, the skin will thicken, the skin will lose its elasticity, the skin will wrinkle, and there will be scaling, dryness, and there could be papules and nodules. And overall, this manifestation of a dermatitis is known as lizard skin. Lizard की skin आप देखते हैं ना बेटा कितनी thick होती है, elasticity नहीं होती उसमें, ठीक है? Scaling होती है, बिल्कुल उसी तरह की appearance आ जाएगी, ठीक है? Manifestation क्या होगी? बिल्कुल उसी तरह जिस तरह एक lizard की skin है. Manifestation of a dermatitis is called lizard skin. How you will diagnose? Biopsy of the affected skin reveals microfilari. Examination of the blood for microfilari is not useful because they don't circulate in the blood. So you have to take the biopsy of the affected skin, which will reveal the microfilari. Eosinophilia is common. As I told you, in parasitic infections, eosinophilia is common. Eosinophilic count raise hota hai, but in bacterial infection, you will see neutrophilic count, neutrophilia. But in parasitology, in parasitic manifestations, you will see eosinophilia. Serological tests are not helpful. आपको पता है बेटा serological test हम कभी भी नहीं करते parasitic infections में. कहीं पे बेटा जब आपसे कोई question पूछा जाए, don't write ESR, don't write ELISA, PCR. Serological tests are not important. कभी भी नहीं हम करते, ठीक है? What is the mode of treatment? Ivermectin is usually effective against the microfilariae which are released by the adult worms. So ivermectin is effective against the microfilariae but not adults. Suramin kills the adult worms, but it is quite toxic and is used particularly in those with eye disease. So skin nodules can be removed surgically, but new nodules can develop. Therefore, a surgical cure is unlikely in areas of endemic infection. What is a mode of prevention? Prevention involves the control of the black fly with insecticides. So if you have any questions regarding Onchocerca, you can ask me. Onchocerca volvulus causes onchocerciasis. The vector is black fly. Okay, the vector is black fly. The genus of the vector of the black fly is Simulium. It will deposit the infective larva. While biting, the larva will differentiate into the adult form in the subcutaneous tissue, and then these adult forms will produce a microfilariae, and these microfilariae can go into the eye and causes blindness. And these, when on the next bite, the black fly takes the blood meal, it will ingest the microfilariae which are non-infective larvae, and these microfilariae will convert themselves into the infective larva in the black fly, in the midgut of the black fly, from where they will go into the pharynx, and from the next bite it will again infect the humans, and the cycle will complete. And the most important manifestation is the skin manifestations, in which you will see the thickened, wrinkled skin, loss of elasticity, and this manifestation is called lizard skin. And when it is present in the inguinal area, you will call it hanging groin. And when the microfilariae migrate to the subcutaneous tissue, they can cause blindness. Treatment of the microfilariae is ivermectin. Suramin will kill the adult worm, but it is toxic. And when there will be skin nodules, you have to resect or surgically remove them. I have a question for you. Only the question number one. Only the question number one. In the ward, you came across a patient suffering from massive edema of lower limbs and scrotum with fibrosis of overlying skin. I again repeat, in the ward, you will came across a patient suffering from massive edema of lower limbs and scrotum with fibrosis of overlying skin. The condition is due to parasitic infection. What is the most likely diagnosis? Shabash bacho, very good. Filariasis. Elephantiasis is only the signs, clan. I know you have the concept, but elephantiasis is the sign. Filariasis is the disease. The striking mark of filariasis is elephantiasis. Very good. Shabash bacho, very good. So you have a clear concept of Wuchereria property. Very good. Okay, beta. We will move towards our next topic, which is Loa Loa. The disease Loa Loa is the name of a parasite, and Loa Loa causes loiasis. What are the important properties? Humans are infected by bite of the deer fly. And this deer fly is also called mango fly. So humans are infected by the bite of a deer fly, which is also called mango fly. Anyone of you uh, unmute your device? Please beta mute कर दें. Chrysops, which deposits the infective larva on the skin. The larva enters the bite wound and renders the body. So deer fly deposits the infective larva on the skin. The larva enters the bite wound. It will render in the body and develop into adults. The female release microfilary that enters the blood, and particularly during the day, not during the night time. The microfilary are taken up again by the fly during a blood meal and differentiate into infective larva, which continue the cycle when the fly bites the next person. बिल्कुल बेटा जैसे अभी हम लाइफ साइकिल्स पढ़े उसी तरह ही है, ठीक है? Deer fly deposits the infective larva on the skin. The infective larva will enter the bite wound. It will enter the bite wound and wander in the body through the blood. Wander करेगा body में किसके through? Through the blood and develop into adults. And these adult forms then release the microfilary and are taken up by the fly in the next bite. And in the fly, they will differentiate into infective larvae. So, if you can see, infective larva enters the human skin. They will enter in the bite wound, and from the skin they will go into the blood, and they will go into the subcutaneous tissues, adults in the subcutaneous tissues, and from the subcutaneous tissue they will go into the blood, and through the blood they will wander in the whole body. Adults produce microfilary that are found in the spinal fluid, sputum, peripheral tissues, and in the lungs. Now they are present throughout the body. Microfilary are now present throughout the body. First of all, the infective larva enters the skin. They will go into the subcutaneous tissues, differentiate into the adults. They will enter the blood and will wander all around the body. And they will present in the blood now. Adult forms now release the microfilary, which are non-infective larvae, and then these microfilary are again taken up by the mango fly, and then this mango fly will takes a blood meal which injects microfilary, and in the fly the non-infective larva or the microfilary are converted into the infective larva, and then from the gut into the pharynx of the fly, and from the fly next bite the infective larva will deposit again in the skin. What is the pathogenesis and clinical findings? बेटा लाइफ साइकिल क्लियर है ना आपको? मैंगो फ्लाई और या डेयर फ्लाई ने एक्चुअली इन्फेक्टिव लार्वा को स्किन में इंजेस्ट किया. Infective larva will go into the subcutaneous tissues, convert themselves into the adult form, and this adult form will wander all around the body through the blood. अब वो through the blood वो पूरी body में इस टाइम मौजूद है. And when the mango fly takes the blood meal, it will ingest the microfilary which are released by the adult form. Adult form आपको पता है बेटा release करती है non-infective larva, which is or the tiny larvas which are called microfilary. अब जब वो mango fly ने दोबारा से ingest किए microfilary, they will go into the gut of the mango fly, differentiate into the infective larva L1, L2, L3, and then go to the pharynx, and from the pharynx they will again enters the humans from the next bite of the mango fly. तो अब वो infective larva दोबारा से humans में जाएंगे जब दोबारा black fly mango fly bite करेगी, ठीक है? And then the cycle continues. There is no inflammatory response to the microfilary or adults, but अब बेटा microfilary या adults की वजह से कोई inflammatory response नहीं है, but a hypersensitivity reaction causes transient, localized, non-erythematous subcutaneous edema, which is called Calabar swellings. So there is non-inflammatory response to mycoplasma or adults, but there is hypersensitivity reaction. Hypersensitivity reaction causes transient localized मतलब उसी जगह पे है, generalized edema नहीं है. Non-erythematous means वहाँ there will be no erythema, there will be no redness. Subcutaneous edema, which is called Calabar swelling, means जहाँ पे deer fly या mango fly ने bite किया है वहां पे मोस्टली क्या होगा, हाइपरसेंसिटिविटी रिएक्शन होगा. हाइपरसेंसिटिविटी रिएक्शन होगा तो वहां पे localized edema होगा. It will be not, the edema will not be generalized, it will not be erythematous नहीं होगा, वहां पे कोई redness नहीं होगी, सिर्फ एक localized edema होगा at site of the bite mostly due to the hypersensitivity reaction, and this is called Calabar swelling. The most dramatic finding, ये बेटा आपने लाइन बहुत अच्छे से याद रखनी है. The most dramatic finding is an adult worm crawling across the conjunctiva of the eye, a harmless but disconcerting event. अब हमने ऑन्कोसर्का में बेटा क्या पढ़ा था? ऑन्कोसर्का में हमने पढ़ा था कि जब एडल्ट वर्म्स जाते हैं बेटा, एडल्ट वर्म्स रिलीज करते हैं माइकोफिलेरी, दे विल गो टू द कंजक्टिवा एंड दे विल cause blindness. ठीक है, but in this but in lower the adult worm will can see crawling across the conjunctiva of the eye. पेशेंट ये कंप्लेन करता है कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मेरी आंख के अंदर कुछ चल रहा है, मुझे दिखता, मुझे नजर आता है कि मेरी आंख के अंदर कुछ चल रहा है, जैसे कोई कीड़ा मेरी आंख के अंदर चल रहा है. The most dramatic finding is that adult worm crawling across conjunctiva of the eye, a harmless but disconcerting event. इसका कोई harm नहीं है बेटा, लेकिन irritation है. This is disconcerting for the patient. So there are two clinical findings: Calabar swelling, which is localized non-erythematous edema due to hypersensitivity reaction, and then there is the dramatic finding: adult worm can be seen crawling across the conjunctiva of the eye. How you will diagnose? Diagnosis is made by visualization of the mycoplasma in the blood. When you will make the thick blood smell, you can see the mycoplasma. इसी तरह बेटे जब हम वो Chereria bancrofti पढ़ा था, मैंने आपको बताया था कि हम क्या करते हैं, we can will make the thick smear of the blood and mycoplasma can be seen in the blood smear. There is no serological test. मैं आपको बार बार कह रही हूँ बेटा, पैरासाइटोलॉजी में serological test नहीं लिखने आपने. What is the mode of treatment? Diethyl carbamazine eliminates the mycoplasma and may kill the adults. Worms in the eye may require the surgical excision. When the adult worms go into the eye, they require the surgical excision. उसमें बेटा medical treatment की कोई भी efficiency नहीं है. Diethyl carbamazine can eliminate the mycoplasma but in adult form, but worms will need surgical excision. How you will prevent? Control of the fly by insecticides can prevent the disease. अब बेटा आप वेक्टर्स अगर याद हम रिवाइज करें ना, तो आज हमने पढ़ा है ऑन्कोसर्का. ऑन्कोसर्का का वेक्टर था ब्लैक फ्लाई, जीनस सिमुलियम. ओके, ब्लैक फ्लाई इज द वेक्टर ऑफ ऑन्कोसर्का, whereas loa's vectors is deer fly or mango fly. Now concentrate on the second question, बच्चों. A 35 years old male presented to you in outdoor with non-specific signs and symptoms of erythema and subcutaneous edema. On examination of the eyes are red and a worm is seen crawling in the right eye. Name the causative agent. Very good. Shabash. Very good. So you have a clear concept of loa and Onchocerca, with Chereria bancrofti also. Very good response. Shabash. Very good. Okay, students, do you have any questions? Very good. Anyone of you have any question? Sure, beta. No questions? The concept is clear? Why we don't do the serological test? बेटा हम serological test इसमें इसलिए नहीं करते कि आपके serological test के जो results हैं they are not appropriate. ठीक है, हम कभी भी parasites में serological test नहीं करते. We will only and only do the specific test regarding to each parasite. ठीक है, the specificity and sensitivity of serological test is not appropriate in the parasites. अगर आप स्टूल एग्जामिनेशन करते हैं इंटेस्टाइनल प्रोटोजोआज में या इंटेस्टाइनल निमोटोड्स में, तो बेटा आपको स्टूल एग्जामिनेशन पे सिस मिल जाते हैं, ओवाज मिल जाते हैं. ठीक है, जो कि आप सर्लॉजिकल टेस्ट करेंगे तो आपको सर्लॉजिकल टेस्ट का वहां पे कोई रोल नहीं है. और एक्चुअली क्या है, जैसे आप ब्लड प्रोटोजोआज देखें या निमोटोड्स देखें, टिश्यू निमोटोड्स, तो आपको मोस्टली जो है माइकोफिलेरी ब्लड प्रोटोजोआज में आपको ब्लड प्रोटोजोआज में जैसे हमने लिशमीनिया किया, आपको क्रिसेंटेरिक शेप जो इन प्लाज्मोडियम एज वेल, यू विल मेक द थिक एंड थिन स्मेयर, उसमें ही आपको सारी फाइंडिंग्स मिलती हैं. आपको कभी भी उसके लिए पीसीआर या एलाइजा करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. और इसी तरह बेटा जब आप टिश्यू निमोटोड्स देखते हैं तो उसमें माइकोफिलेरी आपको मिल जाते हैं, डल्ट फॉर्म्स मिल जाते हैं इन द थिक ब्लड स्मेयर. जब आपको थिक ब्लड स्मेयर पे माइकोफिलेरी मिल जाएंगे तो आपको क्या जरूरत पड़ी है सर्लॉजिकल टेस्ट करने की? डेफिनेटिव डायग्नोसिस तो तभी आपको हो जाएगा जब आप अंडर द ब्लड स्मेयर अंडर द माइक्रोस्कोप देखेंगे, आपको उसमें पैरासाइट्स बहुत अच्छे से नजर आ जाते हैं, बड़े बड़े पैरासाइट्स नजर आते हैं. इंशाल्लाह ताला व्हेन यू विल कम बैक आई विल शो यू द पैरासाइट्स. हम जब स्टूल एग्जामिनेशन करेंगे तो इंशाल्लाह ताला यू विल फाइंड द पैरासाइट्स. ओके बेटा, नो क्वेश्चंस? थैंक यू.